Hey, what's up guys? This is Paul, and welcome to Common Touch of Fantasy. Today we have another review. Today we are reviewing The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. Didn't really care for this one that much. I gave it a 2 out of 5. For the plot, I gave it 2. For the characters, I gave it 2. For the setting, I gave it 3. For the heart and mind aspect, I gave it 1. And for the writing style, I gave it a 2. Okay, so the short summary for this book is there's a woman named Rachel. She is recently divorced, and she's having a very hard time getting over her divorce. She is very depressed, and she's an alcoholic, and she lost her job, and she basically is just going nowhere in her life right now. And she rides the train every single day, twice a day, the same times that she rode the train when she had a job. And she is obsessed with this house that she sees when the train stops. At the house there are 2 people, and a man and a wife, and she just believes that they are so happy, and she creates this entire world and this entire background for these 2 people, and she has her special names for them, and she believes they have like the best life in the world. And she really focuses on those people and the happiness that they have. And then one day, while she's on the train, because she's watched this house for so long, she notices something's different. And then the woman that lives in that house ends up going missing, and Rachel believes that she has some information that she needs to tell the police about the woman that went missing, but because she didn't really know them, she has to lie a lot, and she gets involved in the entire case. Alright, before I go into the parts of this book I liked and didn't like, I want to make something clear. I did not look into this book enough. I wanted a mystery thriller book, and I saw that this book was the #1 selling book in America at the moment. And I also saw that a couple booktubers liked it, and so I kind of bought it without really knowing what it is that it is about. And that was a big mistake. I should have looked into it more. I don't think that I'm the person that this book is intended for. I really think this book might resonate more with female readers, so I should have looked into it more, and really that's my fault. Alright, so what did I like about this book? I liked the interesting premise that there is a woman that watches a certain house, a certain couple, and she kind of watches their life and makes up this life of theirs, and then she sees that something's wrong and that she has information to the case about those 2 people. I think that premise is really cool, and that's basically why I bought the book, because I thought it was a cool premise. I also think that the setting is awesome. It's outside of London, a lot of London suburbs, the trains, a lot to do with like the train stations going into London during the day, the suburbs of London, things that interest me, places that I would like to go. And I like the setting. I thought the little suburb lanes was interesting. I thought that there was a lot of potential for these places, and a lot of potential for the plot and stuff. So I like the setting. The plot is your basic, standard missing person mystery. There's 3 women, and each woman is telling their part of the story. And there's a lot of inner monologues and a lot of deep feelings from these women that I really didn't relate to. I want to make sure I explain something properly. When I read, I usually read to be entertained. I in real life, I have a lot of listening skills to listen to people and empathize a lot with people. A lot of times when I'm empathizing with people, their emotions, I mirror their emotions, and I actually sometimes take on their emotions. So sometimes when someone else is depressed, it'll make me depressed, or if someone else is hurting, I will relate to their hurting. And when I read, that's a good thing when I read, because it makes me feel connected to the characters. However, with this book, it really did something beyond that. This book actually made me depressed when I read it. I have a problem with people that are characters that aren't strong characters and they're very weak, even though the reasons for their weakness might not really be their fault. It's difficult for me not to say, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and move on with your life. Snap out of it. Have some self-respect. This book, the monologues of these women that the story's being told through the first person, which is very irritating to me. Rachel, the main character, she just really hates herself. There's a lot of self-loathing in this book. And honestly, because I listened to the audiobook, it kind of felt like someone complaining about their ex to me, like nonstop. So I just did not like that. Rachel is an alcoholic, and I just want her to get better and to realize, her life isn't all about her ex. Her life isn't all about these imaginary people. Her life needs to just move on. And I want to help Rachel. I think that's the issue. I want to help her. I want to help her get out of this rut that her life's in. And it's so frustrating to read about a character that just really, really dislikes herself. The other thing I didn't really care about is the drinking in this book, the alcoholism. It is a huge part of this book. I don't really like to be around drunk people that often. I find it to be very annoying. I just am not the type of person to be around a lot of partiers and stuff. And so I found the drinking as a plot device to be very weak and unimaginable, because Rachel blacks out, and when she blacks out, she doesn't remember anything, and it creates these unknown variables that are vital to the story. And I just kind of feel like writing a story where not remembering the key information for a mystery and using blacking out as the way to not remember that information to solve the mystery, I just don't like that. It's just, to me, it just seems very unimaginable, a little bit lazy. I would much rather have more side storylines and more characters, things like that, to make the mystery beefier. But the blacking out was so vital to the story that it just turned me off from the very beginning. The last thing that I didn't like about this book is the way infidelity was portrayed. Cheating is horrible. Cheating on your spouse with someone else is one of the most selfish things you can do. It's really self-centered. And this book, sometimes it said, you can go ahead and cheat on someone as long as, you're unhappy. And if you cheat on them with someone that makes you happy, that's okay. And maybe I'm mistaking this, but it really felt like no one in this book really had any remorse whatsoever for cheating on their spouse. And there really wasn't a balanced view. There wasn't another character that balanced this view out at all. It's everyone is just sleeping around with each other, and no one really cares about their spouse, just because, if you're bored and unhappy, you can go do it. And there was times in this book where I felt that the view of men and women cheating was way different. Women cheating was if they were seriously unhappy, they can just go out and find someone that would make them happy. But if a man was cheating, they were more to blame, that they had more of a responsibility in the affair. It just really, this book just really made me uncomfortable because I didn't really think that the responsibilities of men and women were equal when it comes to infidelity. It just didn't sit with me right. I don't know why, and I could be way off, but from my point of view, it just wasn't a balanced view on it. The woman's side of things just had such a positive light. Of course, the three women are the main characters, and the story's being told through the women. So I understand that there probably would be a better light on things because of that, but I just didn't like the way that men were portrayed in this book when it comes to infidelity, and I didn't like the way women had kind of an excuse to do so in this book. I just thought it wasn't that great. I was going to give it a 3. Then a couple days went by, and I just realized I did not enjoy this book. I ended up giving it a 2. It's just not that great of a book. It really made me depressed while reading. I really just wanted to say, get some self-respect, woman, you know? It was infuriating at times. So I didn't really care for it. I think if you're looking for like a mainstream thriller, murder mystery, I think you can do a lot better than this. This is not this year's Gone Girl. Gone Girl is a much better book than this book. Alright guys, thank you for watching this review. I hope I didn't say anything inappropriate or step on anyone's toes while doing this review. It's just kind of how I felt. I really don't think this book was really targeted for a person like me. I should have read more into it before I bought it. And that's my responsibility as a reader to know what type of books I'm about to read. So thank you for watching. Please comment, subscribe, and like. And I will talk to you another time. Thank you.